Hello and welcome, Carrie and Jen here from Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet. And today we're thankful, grateful, blessed. Today I'm going to get myself in all sorts of trouble with the topic of this video. Right, Jen?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just making sure we went live on the other one.
We're doing something a little bit different tonight. It's Carnivore Battle of the Sexes live, Carnivore edition. And we're going to talk about who has it harder on carnivore, men or women. And because I'm not a complete idiot, and Jen and I have been together for 30 years, I have a feeling it's going to be women.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some really good arguments for both. And plus, we thought it would be a fun discussion. And hopefully you guys can hear us okay. We're having a little bit of internet issues here. Can you hear us now? We're having all sorts of issues today.
Been gone for a little while.
Please post in the chat if you can hear us now. I think you can because I see the little 3 green dots now. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Bob Pop Eater. So we're giving away a Healing Humanity shirt in the color blue. Just use hashtag men or hashtag women and post your best question or your vote. We're going to tally these up. So who has it harder, men or women? And Jen is wearing the Alaskan hoodie.
I have many of them.
How was your trip to Alaska? We haven't talked to everybody since last Saturday.
Oh, geez. I want to be back there already. I miss Bill so much. Bill. I got to meet the man, the myth, the legend, and Daisy. Oh my gosh. You guys think you know what somebody looks like or their personality. You have no idea. I absolutely love them both. I miss them. Bill put out a really awesome video and I was crying when I watched it. Oh, you know what, Bill? I don't know if you're on here, but I forgot it in the no, I might have it. I'm gonna have to look for it. If you guys didn't watch his video, he gave me a mama bear hat, and it's for the wintertime because it gets very, very cold here in Wisconsin. And then he got the girls all one, and I absolutely love them. I have to find it because I love it. I brought it with me, and I don't remember where I put it, but it was amazing meeting Bill for sure. I told him in person, I said, you look more handsome in person than you do on the videos. And his personality is amazing. Daisy, I got to hold Daisy. Holy cow, does he purr? I mean, you think you can hear him purr on his video? But oh my gosh, I was like, I could be in the other room and you could still hear him purring. It was amazing. So that was definitely the highlight. And talking about Bill's shirt, you can actually buy those. Emma and Carrie designed those. You can buy those on Bill's site, I believe.
On Bill's channel, yeah. Underneath his videos, you can click on those, and that all goes to Bill to support Bill.
Exactly.
All right, so we got to do a quick shout out before we get started, and before I get myself into all sorts of trouble with this, who has it harder, carnivore women or carnivore men. I think there's some good arguments for both. It'll be a fun conversation. So again, if you're just jumping on, post hashtag men. Make sure you have the hashtag on it because we're tallying them up. In the live chat, post right now, hashtag men or hashtag women, and the reason one or the other has it harder, or post your best question with either hashtag men or women. And then at the end, we're going to tally the whole thing up. We're going to give away a Healing Humanity shirt. We should give away a Bill Knott shirt.
You should.
I don't have, well, we could just go buy
We
one.
can order one.
We'll do the Healing Humanity shirt now because we have it all set up for that. One quick announcement before we get started, and that is Jen is going to be speaking in front of a large group of individuals. She doesn't know this yet. She hasn't agreed to it. I got to update this image. This is in Columbus in precisely 1 week from today, August 23rd. If anyone is in Ohio and you want to meet Jen, you want to meet Dr. Kiltz is coming. Dr. Nelson's going to be speaking there. Ashley Rogers, Adam, Ed Coleman, Russ Mitchell, Homesick Buckeye. I love Russ. He's one of the nicest guys in the world. He's also hilarious. I'm going to be there speaking. Jen was just going to go and attend, but she doesn't know that I volunteered for her to speak in front of the group to share her inspiring carnivore story of healing.
Not feeling so well. I think I caught something.
So if anyone's interested in joining or meeting Jen or coming on out, all of the proceeds from that go towards the documentary, towards the series, and the link is in the description. It's healinghumanity.movie/events. Last announcement before we jump into this fun conversation where I'm going to get myself into trouble. Have you found healing on a proper human diet like Jen has? Share your story, healinghumanity.movie/testimony. We are writing a book. It's halfway done. It's incredible. I can't wait to share it with everybody. The goal of the book is to help other people find healing. I hope that it becomes like the thickness of a phone book, just full of testimonies of healing, but we can't do it without you. It's so simple. It's so easy. healinghumanity.movie/testimony. You could share your story there for either the book or the Healing Humanity series that we're working on. So Jen, this was us 30 years ago. Like I said, for those that are jumping on, Jen and I are going to be doing a new video where we it's going to be funny, where we look just like this. Are we going to go to that exact location?
We're going to look like that?
We have the precise same shirts.
We do.
I have the same hat and Jen has the same shirt. Yeah. And that location is actually in my mother-in-law's backyard, which we still have. It's a little bit of a drive from here, but
tomorrow's her birthday. We can go.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see who wins Battle of the Carnivore Sexes tonight.
I'm not even going to say anything.
Yeah, I have a feeling. All right, we're going to kick this off with some arguments for, well, let's go ladies first. Arguments for why women have it harder on carnivore. And we have a couple notes, but we're going to just riff as we normally do off the top of our heads. And again, please, please, please leave in the live chat, #women or #men. It's going to be fun. I have a little tool in the background that's tallying up the votes. And
oh, come on, women.
Come on, women. What are we doing here? All right, Jen, go with it. What's your first reason that women have it harder on carnivore?
Obviously, I'm a woman, so I'm going to go #woman. You know, I know men have it hard too, but I think women have it harder. Let's just go the first one. So we have hormones, right? We have worse hormones than men do. We have our periods, we give birth, we go through a lot. Our bodies do a lot. So I'm just going to go with the hormones are definitely worse for women, which I believe it makes it harder for us for carnivore.
Because I'm a smart husband, I definitely agree with that.
Well, just because you're a person, you should agree.
But,
oh no.
But maybe it's also difficult for a male living in a household with 5 women that are all eating carnivore and having monthly issues.
I agree.
Maybe.
Because I have to deal with 3 of them, 4 of them.
They're crazy, aren't they? They get a little crazy, don't they?
And we all don't get it at the same time, let me tell you. So I get to experience it firsthand.
But the beauty of carnivore is that has been drastically improved for you and the girls.
Yes. Extremely.
Majorly.
Yeah, I talk about that a lot, especially when I didn't know I was going to be talking. I thought I was just going on a trip. Yeah, that's one of my things I do talk about is, just going to say ant flow, my period, whatever. I'm more comfortable now. So my period was really, really bad. It was never on track. It was always really tough. It was very long. And since being carnivore, it's shorter. It's not as long. It's not as
painful, severe.
My migraines I don't get. I mean, when I know my time is coming, I get a slight headache. I've never had that before. I've always had severe migraines that I had to suffer through. So definitely a big change for me. And I would suggest for any woman out there. I was talking to somebody that has, I don't remember the medical term for it, but they basically wanted to have their insides taken out, their woman parts, because they didn't want to have painful periods anymore. And I'm just like, you know what, honey, I'm sorry. I feel for you. My daughter was the same way. How do you say that?
Endometriosis.
Thank you. My daughter had that. And she suffered through it badly. And I said, dude, try carnivore. Let's try it. Let's try it together. Let's do it. She did it for a month. And then her next period came. She's like, okay, yeah, this isn't as bad. So I mean, if you have a loved one, a spouse, a sister, brothers wouldn't want to talk about it, but seriously, if you want to help them out, carnivore really helps you.
All right, I'm gonna get torn up in the comments now, but I'm willing to take one for the team. Arguments. That's a great argument Jen has. Hormones, women, for sure. I totally agree. Don't hit me.
See my hand go up.
One of the arguments that I think for men, and I don't know, maybe not all men. I guess this isn't fair for all men, but for me in particular was I started carnivore solo, and I feel like maybe I'm wrong on this, but I feel like maybe the men are a little bit crazier that they would be the ones to start carnivore. Like you wouldn't have never started.
No.
You did after I did.
Yes.
So men starting carnivore were kind of solo, and it's hard doing carnivore solo. I think you would admit it was a lot easier for you to do it after I was doing it. Emma was doing it. We're getting the food. We know all of the nuances about it. We've done all the videos. So when I first started carnivore, I was on my own, and then shortly after my daughter Lily joined, and then Emma shortly after that. But for the most part, I was alone, so I was solo. Everyone's like, "Oh, I feel so sorry for Carrie." I was out there by the grill, lone wolf, cooking my own food. And so maybe I'll do two for my first one, arguments that men have it harder. Cooking my own food. I'm an idiot, right?
Yeah.
You traditionally, this is what people are gonna say, this is sexist, whatever. I don't care. This is the truth. In our household, maybe your household's different, but traditionally,
too, he's got 5 women in the household. He's 1 to 5.
yes.
So I'm giving you props.
Traditionally, in our household, anyways, she has been the meal preparer, the cooker, not me. I guess you can make the argument though that men do more of the grilling, but you did most of the cooking. And we live in Wisconsin, so it's not always grilling. It's slow cooking, and it's stews and slow cooked meats and things like that. So an argument I have that men have it harder is, for me anyways, I started carnivore and I had to do it solo because I'm the crazy husband. And I remember when I started too, you were probably just like, here he goes again. He did the keto thing. He did the 1 meal a day. Now he's going to do this crazy carnivore thing. So I was solo and I sucked at cooking. So I had to learn this. And when you do carnivore, you do have to cook. Like that is a requirement of carnivore. When you're eating the standard American diet, I could just get a frozen pizza. That's not cooking. You have to really cook stuff on carnivore. So that's one of my arguments I have for carnivore being harder for men. What else you got, Jen? We're going to go back and forth on this one. Leave us comments though too. I know there are a lot of new people joined. Hashtag men or women. Who has it harder on carnivore? Give us a reason why, or post your best question. Get a Healing Humanity shirt. What's your other argument?
I think for women it's harder because of social judgment. I mean, again, being a woman, this is hard for me to talk about because I am overweight. I've been overweight my whole life, but I've always felt like men should look at women and be like, oh, she's beautiful, not just from the weight, but it should be from everything. But I think social judgment, it's either you're really extreme and really, really healthy and really, really fit, or you're chunky and fat and unhealthy and all that. So I think it's women judge ourselves differently. Like a lot of people say, oh, Jen, you look really good. You lost a bunch of weight. Well, I still don't see it. It's like, ooh, 60 pounds. Wow. Well, I still have like 80 more pounds to go before I get to where I want to be. And it's hard because it's a lot of judging, and a lot of women, including myself, look at other women and we judge. And if we see like a hot lady standing there, and then you're like, you look at yourself and you're like, okay, kind of like judge yourself. So I think women have it harder that we judge ourselves and like socially do it too. Like, I don't think men are like going out and judging each other. Like, oh, look at that guy, he's got abs.
No, we don't care.
Or, but I mean, you look at women, and obviously most men, you better.
You're trying to get me in big trouble here.
Yes, men look at women.
I'll tell you what I look at.
I was gonna say.
Gotta be careful on this one. No, this is the truth. Dr. Baker, Dr. Chafee. I'm like, I want to be like them. Dr. Baker isn't quite 60 years old. When I'm 60 years old, I want to be like Dr. Baker. That guy's an inspiration.
I want to be like Dr. Kiltz. I just saw him.
Oh yeah,
I saw him with the
carnivore cannons, the meat muscles.
He had his shirt off. He's at I don't know if it was a short or what. I was upstairs doing the movie theater, and I'm like, ooh, Dr. Kiltz. But I mean,
I honestly,
70-year-old guy.
It's hilarious, and I don't care. But talking about, I'm going to get torn up in these comments battles. Imagine if that was reversed and I was talking about a carnivore woman. Whew, I saw her with her
Okay,
shirt.
Maggie. Go ahead, Maggie.
Rancher Maggie, yeah.
You want to see
I
her?
wanna-
No, nope.
I told Rancher Maggie when we filmed her, do I have a picture of Rancher Maggie for those that are new here? I told Rancher Maggie when I filmed her that, let's see, do we have her? Here she is. She needs to make a shirt that says, I want to be like Maggie when I grow up. I definitely want to be like Maggie when I grow up.
You do. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dr. Kiltz, he's 70, 69, 70. I mean, he looks good for his age. You know?
He's amazing. And he's going to be in Ohio, by the way.
Oh, then I'm there.
That was a last minute
Then
addition. So 1 week from today, we're going to be healing humanity in Ohio if you want to join us. All right, my turn?
Yeah, if you want to finish that one.
Finish it. What else was there?
That was it. But I mean, it's just women are harder on ourselves because
it's harder for women because women are harder on themselves. That's a good argument. Yeah, men just don't really care. I think that's a good argument too. But maybe that's an argument for men that I just realized is I can't generalize things too much, but men got beer bellies. We got guts, and most of us don't care about that. And so the why to do carnivore, sadly, a lot of people do carnivore to lose weight. And I've said this a million times on my channel. Carnivore is a healing lifestyle thing. It isn't a temporary fad diet to lose some vanity pounds. But unfortunately, the only way people get introduced to carnivore in many cases is because they want to lose some pounds. They then start doing it, and 3 weeks in, they're like, oh my goodness, I feel better than I have my whole life, and I'm healing my body. And then eventually they come to realize, like Jen did and I did, that carnivore isn't a weight loss diet, it's a healing diet. And when you heal your body, a natural side effect of that healing is your body will go to its natural and intended weight. With all of that said, my arguments for men have it harder is a lot of men, I got a little beer belly, I got a gut. I had many more issues than that, and the reason that I did carnivore. But for a lot of men, you just got a little, if they're overweight, a woman might be more conscious of that and say, this is my why, I'm going to do carnivore because I'm overweight. A guy be like, I got a beer belly, I don't care, we're going to play poker, and we've got the Super Bowl party coming up, we're going to go drink some more beers, we're going to fill the beer belly up. So not having a strong enough why for a lot of men, I think, makes it harder for them. You don't succeed on carnivore unless you have a why. So you either have to do it because you do care about your weight, which I think is a little bit more rare for men than women, or because you have something seriously wrong with you. And then if you have, like I did, and if you have something seriously wrong with you, it's hard to do something like this because you're sick and you're fatigued and you're plopped down on the couch and you got depression, you got anxiety. So I don't know. In a weird way, I think that's an argument for why men have it a little bit harder. They don't necessarily have a strong enough why.
Okay, well, I'll follow up with that. But the same thing that we just did for the last one is the body image pressure. Like us women, not me included, I never really cared about what I looked like and stuff. But there's a lot of women out there that
focus camera
because you keep moving your hands.
I'll hold perfectly still. Our camera keeps defocusing. Sorry.
Body image. So I think us women have it a lot different. And I'll put a number 2 in there as well. You were just talking about beer gut. Okay, us women, we have it all over. We don't just have a fat belly. Men, do you have a butt?
I do not.
Don't have a butt.
Well, I do, but
no, it's a flat butt. How many, like, answer me, like, we're not watching the comments, but how many guys have big butts? Like, I'm talking about big fat badunkadunk like a woman, you know, not a lot. So women have to lose their butts. We need to lose our stomachs. We need to lose our arms, our double chin, you know. So I mean, you look at a heavy man and he might have a double chin and he might have a huge belly, but the legs, they're tiny as heck. You know, I've had lymphedema in my legs since my triplets were started in me, I guess we could say. So I kind of suffered with that, you know. So I mean, when I look at a man like you, like when you were heavier, you didn't have a butt.
It's all in my belly.
You just had it in your belly.
I had it in my neck too, though.
Women, I believe, have it harder
like
because we have it everywhere. Like if I lose 60 pounds, I've lost 60 pounds, and I look at myself, I'm like, where did you lose it? I have no idea. Like I don't see it. So it's a lot of pressure on me. Like I know I've lost inches, I've lost weight, but I don't see it. So it's a lot harder on women.
That is a very good argument. Because for men, like this was my before. Yeah, most of it was in my neck too, though. Look at my huge neck.
You've always had big.
My neck isn't huge anymore. most of your weight is in your belly, and then
Mhm.
the man is losing weight, and you
Right.
see the belly going down, 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 versus if it was dispersed all over my body, you might not notice it as much.
Right.
I think I clicked that off. Okay. All right. Good argument there. All right. It's back to me now. Oh, here's one.
Oh, there you are again.
This thing is
Back to
lagging.
you.
All right. It's got a little bit of a delay going on. Hopefully you guys can still hear us okay. Man, I don't know what's going on with our internet tonight. We had some big thunderstorms coming through earlier. Oh my goodness. Did we freeze up? Come on. Come on. Let us know in the comments if you can still hear us. Hopefully we didn't lose completely.
Aw.
What?
It's just sad if we're gone.
Are we back? Are we back? We're back. Okay. Froze for a second. I think we're back now. I won't click any more images. It's just a little slow, but the audio is good. Okay. Apologies. We had a huge thunderstorm here in Montello. They can hear us. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
So Jen had a good argument. Men carry most of their weight in their belly. Women have it everywhere. I agree with that too, because having it in my belly was kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
I could kind of see it all going down from one area, and seeing that progress was encouraging. All right, another argument I have for men. Again, everybody's different. Many households, the women work, the men work. But in our household, when the triplets were growing up, I was going to an office. A lot of people don't know this. I still have a full-time gig that I'm working on. It's our own business, but I do website marketing. I am blessed to do that from home. But for most of our marriage, I went to an office, and it was like an hour commute. And so, and traditionally, not always, I'm going to get in trouble here. I know it.
No.
Traditionally, men work and women don't. But more and more, it's 50-50. So I get it. But traditionally, men are going to work. And for that reason, I think carnivore can be harder if you have to leave and you have to go to an office. And when I was going to my office, I was gone for 12 hours because it was 2 hours of commuting, the lunch break in between, the work day, all of that stuff. So
They're going out to dinner after.
Going to the pre-dinner Whopper afterwards. This was before carnivore.
Oh.
So my point is, it could be harder for men if they are working all day.
Mm-hmm.
I am so blessed that I worked from home when I was doing carnivore for the last 2 years, because I had the kitchen right there, and I could throw some bacon in the air fryer. I could grab some burger patties and cook them up on the cast iron skillet. If I was at the office, that would have been very challenging. I would have had to pack a lunch, meat, tricky. And then there's all the temptations at the office with people bringing in cupcakes and donuts and garbage food. And there's all the work outings that we used to have where we would have meetings and we would lunch meetings and things like that. So I think that's an argument for men. Anyhow, I guess in households where the man is working and leaving, it's tricky starting carnivore if you have a full-time job and you got to prepare all your own food versus doing it at home.
I don't know. My argument with that is, even being at home, I had 4 kids, but I was by myself. So I was cooking and cleaning and taking care of 4 kids, 4 diapers, how many times a day, and feeding and all that. So I had this, even though I worked from home. So it was hard for me because I didn't have the time to go in the kitchen and like prep a meal for myself or something. I had to take care of the kids first. So my argument can be that too. So I guess it's kind of a scratch on that one.
Yeah, it's probably a scratch too. And now most women are working, or it's 50-50.
But yeah, a lot of women, including myself, chose to stay home with the family instead because of our situation with having triplets plus 1. Even if I went to work, I wouldn't make enough money to put them in daycare. So that was kind of the way that I see it. But
Jen and Carrie, we are in the state of Wisconsin. I see a couple questions too. Jen and I are going to keep going with this debate back and forth. We got a couple more arguments for each, but post your argument if you could. We're tallying all of these up right now. You can post your question, use #men or #women if you think men or women have it harder on carnivore. And we're giving away a Healing Humanity shirt. How tall are you, Carrie? 5'10", 5'9", 5'9", 5'10".
5'8", 5'9".
I'm getting taller on carnivore.
I'm getting shorter. don't know how I used to be as tall as him.
Keto carnivore eat-ins, very common to lose weight. Carrie was pointing out how much healing there is first for some before weight loss. Yes, most people do lose weight on carnivore for sure. My point with that argument was a lot of people misguidedly think that carnivore is only a weight loss regimen.
Mm-hmm.
And it drives me nuts. I'm talking in particular like some friends and family of mine. I don't need to do carnivore. I don't need to lose weight. Really? You think this is just a weight loss fad diet like Weight Watchers or something? It's so much more than that. You will heal your entire body, and that will naturally put you as a side effect to the proper weight. But your body will prioritize healing first. And if you have a lot of healing to do, it may prioritize those things where the weight loss may not happen as quick.
Mm-hmm.
Your body will prioritize those things, which is pretty awesome. All right,
which
Jen.
Which is for me.
Which is kind of leads to your next one that you had.
Right. So I think women have it hard because slower results compared to men. I mean, I've been doing carnivore over a year, but I already have an argument to myself, which I will let Carrie argue because
let me have that one.
I think we're under the same thing. But it's harder for women to. I think it's harder for us to lose the weight.
Wait, I don't want to interrupt, but Booby Goat said butterballs. And then booby goats and butterballs in the same sentence is hilarious to my immature 12-year-old brain. It's also very funny because Jen's favorite thing in the world is butterballs. She gets these things from Walmart. They're literally butterballs.
It is.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, that was funny though.
Shout out Booby Goats. Thank you for that. You were saying it's harder for women because it's slower.
It's slower for women, I believe. But I think also on that fact is I believe that women have it harder because of our body, the way that we're made, the way that we're created, that I carried 4 kids. How many kids did you carry?
Yeah. Well,
Shut up.
With their diapers on, I carried them around sometimes.
Okay. No, like inside. Like I carried Lily. She was our first, and then a year and a half later we found out we're pregnant, and we didn't find out until 5.5 months that I was carrying triplets. I knew there was something definitely different, but I thought it was maybe a boy. I gained a little bit of extra weight, and I had lots of punching and poking and all that stuff, but definitely did not know I was carrying more than one. Oh, my beautiful girls. They are 18 now. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So proud of them.
So your argument is women have it harder because of pregnancy.
Well, a lot of things. Pregnancy. So another thing. So I have had lymphedema in my leg that I have been suffering with since the triplets were beginning to brew in me, I guess I would say. So I'm kind of still
18 years.
I'm still dealing with it. My legs have gotten a lot better, but I never knew healing until I started carnivore. That's why I said when people say, "Oh, you just lost 60 pounds," well, Carrie lost 100. Why didn't you lose all that? Because my body's healing much differently than Carrie's body's healing. So I think women have a lot slower results than men do. So I think it's harder for us because makes me feel not as good because, yeah, you lost 100 pounds, but I lost 60 pounds and a whole bunch of inches, and my period's better and my headaches are gone. So it's like,
I'm with you. So I'm going to agree with my wife because I'm a very smart man, but no, because it's the truth too. I do believe women have it a lot harder because of pregnancy. And the point that we said earlier, your body will prioritize healing. Mm-hmm. It is a shame that it's always compared. Like you said, oh, you lost 100 pounds. I lost 60. Yeah. What it should be is a comparison of the healing. And that's something that's hard to measure. But imagine what your body went through. And shout out Coach Lisa Pickert, who I love, because she talked about this before, and it really opened my eyes up thinking about this more. You delivered triplets. What did that do to your body? And that was 18 years ago, and you had lymphedema in your legs ever since then. And Coach Lisa was talking about what did it do to your liver? Mm-hmm. What sort of lasting effects? You'd think 18 years you'd be fine, but no, not if you perpetuate it, because both of us kept eating the standard American diet. Yep. So even though you're at 60 pounds, I'm at 100 pounds, it shouldn't be the weight. If we actually looked at everything that healed that you can't see, we could do like a big x-ray of your body and your liver and the internal and the inflammation and lymphedema in your legs that has gone down and your migraines going away. If you could look at all of that healing that her body has prioritized, you've made more progress than I have. Like that's what you should be looking at is the healing, not just the weight. It's a shame. I do it too. We're visual people, right? You look at a book, you judge a book by its cover. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but so many people, the entry point and the talking point and everything carnivore is the weight. And I get it. If you're morbidly obese, weight is an issue for many people. Airplane seats, travel, all of that, mobility, all of that. I get it. But so I'm losing the debate on that one for sure. Because I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's harder for women. But maybe, but maybe.
Does anybody, I'm just going to say it quickly. Does anybody know who says that? I'm not, that's all I'm giving out. Who says that?
It's a comedian.
Yeah.
He's got a great bit on that. But maybe, and this is where I get torn up. Women have it harder. She delivered triplets. I did not deliver triplets. Her body's prioritizing healing. She's doing all of that. She's doing wonderful. She's doing amazing.
But
I get all the time like, it was so easy for you, Carrie. It was so easy for you because you're a man. And then I'm always like, just wait a minute. I can have a little bit of credit. I'm giving her most of the credit because she had the triplets, but I did strict hardcore carnivore. I'm 880 days in. I haven't had a single piece of fruit. I haven't had a single vegetable. I haven't had any grains. You haven't had those things either. But you have had coffee and cheese and pickles and a variety of other things, which I'm not judging. It's working wonderfully for her and she's killing it. But when people say that to me, like, you had it so easy, a lot of times I'll investigate more. And those people, I'm talking about people on the internet leaving me comments that say, you had it so easy because you're a man. I'm like, well, can I have a little bit of credit? I did stretches of lion diet where it's just beef, salt, and water. I did an 8-day fast, a 5-day fast. I've done 3-day water fasts, 3-day dry fasts, no water whatsoever.
I did a 6-day dry fast.
So it's not really a fair comparison in some cases saying that men had it easier. But I think on the pregnancy and hormonal front, 100%, women have it way harder than men do. I would fully admit that. The only reason I kind of say those things too is I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I just don't. I'm always cognizant of the fact that there are a lot of new carnivores joining this, and I don't want people to use that as sort of a crutch, like, oh, it's so hard for women, so I'm just gonna go and have a cheat day.
Right.
It's so hard for women. Men have it so easy. My husband's doing well. I'm just gonna go cheat now because it's so hard, and it's like I don't want to enable that sort of addiction kind of thing,
but as in life, everybody's different. You know, I'm not as tall as you. I don't have dark hair ish.
my hair
So I
keeps
mean,
getting
everybody
darker.
is different. So you can't pinpoint it like that. And like you said, he did lion. I couldn't do lion. I mean, I was a vegetarian my whole life. I hated meat. So it was very different for me to switch off and be like, oh, I'm just gonna eat meat.
So you have another argument coming up, and I think you just accidentally transitioned into it because we were talking about this on the car ride over. I think that's a big one. Traditionally, yourself, and I don't want to speak for other women because I'm going to get into trouble, but I feel like my wife, traditionally, a little bit of you are almost completely vegetarian, and then maybe on Thanksgiving you have a little bit of turkey or a little bit of chicken, but you are literally like 99% vegetables. I feel like most women are more chicken, turkey breast, not eating a big fatty steak with fat dripping off the edges of it like that. So that was your argument on the car ride over here to the world famous Montello Theater.
We don't argue.
Women have it harder because traditionally they eat leaner. They're not eating big fatty chunks of meat.
Besides Emma, she's the only woman that I've ever.
Right, she's crazy.
The only.
And she was vegan.
I can't even call her a woman. The only kid. I don't want to call her a woman. The only girl that I know that could down fat. I mean, she'll like take a big chunk of the fat off of the steak. Normally, that most women would push away and be like, I can't have that.
Why is that too, by the way? It's incredible. Like, I'm very proud of her. I don't know how she was. For those that don't know, our daughter Emma, she's 18 now. She was vegan for 5 years, and she went from vegan to carnivore on her own accord. Dad didn't force her to do it. She decided to do it because she was suffering. But it was, she had a hard-boiled egg, she had some bacon, she had a steak, and it was like this first steak. She downed the whole thing. The whole thing.
Everything.
Is it because she's left-handed? What is it? Like, what? That's crazy. That is pretty crazy. To be vegan for 5 years and do.
Amazing kid.
You know what I think it is? She's the compassionate carnivore. I remember early on, she's like, I'm not going to waste anything. Whereas she probably got a taste for it too, because a lot of carnivores I talked to, women in particular, my sister did this as well. She didn't like the fatty steaks, so she's eating mostly chicken. And then I think about 6-8 months in, she called me one day and said, it finally happened. I have an intense craving for fatty meat. I think maybe Emma perpetuated that quicker by being a compassionate carnivore and saying, I'm not going to waste anything. Getting a taste of it sooner. I don't know. Sorry, you were saying?
I don't know.
Women have it harder because they eat chicken.
Well, yeah. So as women, you always thought, you know, not me per se, because I am heavier, but I didn't eat a lot of meat. But a lot of women be like, oh, I can't. I have to have the salad with the fat-free ranch, or this, or the, the vegetables, but hold the butter, or the chicken, but it can't have any fat on it, or the skin on it. So I mean that's 99.9% of the women out there. That's what they go for.
I want to hear from men and women, but the women in the chat right now, put hashtag women if you're voting for women. But was that the case for you? Because I don't want to like judge
Right,
everyone.
exactly.
But for most of the women here, would you leave a comment? Would you say before carnivore, fatty meat, fatty steak, you were more on the lean side, maybe eating chicken and stuff? In other words, it's harder for women to eat big fatty chunks of steak, which is really what a big part of carnivore is. It should be called fativore. A lot of it is getting fat. And I feel like I'm speaking for myself personally. I give you, I'm losing bad now on this debate, but I give you that one too, because I have never had an issue with eating fatty meat. Like a fatty steak, that's a huge treat. That's a huge reward for me. A fatty steak for her would have been a punishment before carnivore. Still a punishment now. You don't like steak. You like, you eat burger patties and ground beef and slow cooked meat. But so I'd love to hear from the women in the chat on that, and the men too. Any men have issues with the fat adapting? I don't want to be, is that being sexist?
Sorry.
Is that being sexist? I don't know. But I feel like men have it easier eating fatty meat, and a big part of doing carnivore is eating fatty meat. So the women kind of get that argument, win that argument.
Yeah.
Another argument for men kind of goes back to what I said earlier, but sort of the social culture part of it. You mentioned social for women, but for men, Super Bowl party, nachos, pizza, beer. Here in Wisconsin, I was never a drinker, but many of my peers could not start carnivore because they've been drinking beer, which is toxin, poison. Mm-hmm. Probably shouldn't, but I think that's maybe an argument for men. A lot of men walking around with the beer bellies or drinking beer. They have to overcome that alcohol beer addiction and the social part of it, going to Super Bowl parties or poker games or things like that, going over to the buddy's house, and it's like, I guess on the flip side, you could go to the buddy's house and eat steak, grill out, but
yeah, but that's expensive.
The other part of it, yeah.
So,
all right, you've got.
Well, I'm just gonna go on both of them right away. We have stuff written down. So, emotional eating, that ties into arguing with your spouse, or having an argument with your kid, or having your period, or it was actually the other day when we were in Alaska. I don't remember what happened, but for some reason I got in a really down mood. I don't remember why, but I was really, really down. And I looked at the girls and I said, if I wasn't carnivore, I would just go total bonkers right now, eat the crappiest food, because I always thought that's what made me feel good. It was my comfort food. When I got angry or upset or hurt or was getting my period, I always had the excuse of, I need that cookie, I need that piece of pie, or I need that candy. Especially women, I don't know, maybe it's just me and my family. Before, we would have been like, oh, I have my period, go get me some chocolate. I think it was like all in our head, I don't know, or standard normal, I don't know. Women, come on, start going. The men are winning here.
They're not winning.
Let's go. Hashtag women. But I don't know. I think that was just also something too, as emotional eating is, I always went to the fat that I thought made me feel better. Now I realize now that it was stupid, and it doesn't make you happier. It actually makes you sick. So I don't know. That's another argument, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Stevie Wood distracted me with the just got done cooking brisket, trimmed it up some, and made tallow and crispy fat bits. That was amazing. We got to do another brisket. I have been craving brisket. It's been too long. Emma did the last brisket in the smoker. Brisket is one of my favorite smoked brisket. So good.
So we talked about this before. It's a totally different topic. Dog food. So all of our animals are carnivores. We have been normally chopping up our own meat and we've been gone for the last week and a half, so we weren't able to do it. So Lily went out and got some dog food, and then I was just too tired to do it the last couple of days, so I went back and bought some more dog food. Point to this whole thing is I was at the butcher shop and I was talking to the butcher guy, and I was looking at all the meat there, and we were discussing things, and I've never seen it before. He said it was like some, correct me if I'm wrong, a piece of fat of some sort of trimmings, but then it had bacon like wrapped around it or something. And I'm just, in my head, I was like, oh, that's gross. I don't like eating fat unless it's like butter, and I definitely don't like bacon. But he was saying he takes it, he chops it up, he puts it on the pan and he fries it. Has anybody done that before? I don't know. It was just, you were talking about the fat and stuff on there. And then he said what he likes to do, which I was kind of like, you don't need that, is he said when he goes to family functions and stuff, he would put it in baked beans. He's like, when you used to get the baked beans, they had like a piece or two of fat in there or bacon. And so I just made my whole thing. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to tell you that, but is that something you'd be interested in? It was like a fat. I should have bought it then. Bacon? It was like
you had me at bacon
cube. It was like a cube of fat wrapped in bacon. I don't really know what it was called, but
Penny Lambert is a new member. Welcome, Penny. Thank you so much.
Penny.
We do members only live stream. Jen's on every one of them now. She's going to be running this thing pretty soon. Every Thursday. At 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do a members only live stream. And when we're traveling around filming, we do members only. Pa Beater Bob, thank you so much. Gifted 5 Homestead How memberships, and huge congratulations. 3 days to 2 year. Down 250 fat, no more fatty liver.
Nice.
Bob is awesome. Bob is incredible. Bob came to one of our meetups, and it was very touching, very emotional seeing his testimony. Thank you so much, Bob, for gifting those Homestead How memberships.
I'm not taking anything away with your anniversary, but can I say today is our 3rd anniversary at owning this theater? Did you know that?
Did not. What is today?
Terrible. Yeah, today is our 3rd year of owning this beautiful place. Sorry, I didn't want to. You said anniversary, and it totally clicked in my head. Really excited for that. So, come on, women, let's go together. #women. Let's go. Let's beat it. No, I'm kind of curious because I think it's torn between. I think it's 50-50, to be honest with you. And I don't think pre-carnivore I would have said that because I wouldn't have known any better. But then just going from a woman perspective, I think that it would be kind of together because I think men have it. I think men have it easier that they don't have a problem eating meat. Like if you were starving, I already know you would go out, you would kill something, you would eat it. Being a carnivore myself, I still can't do that. I think I honestly, call me stupid, don't say it though. I don't think I would do it. I think I would rather starve because I'm still compassionate about the animal. If I see it, like our chickens, let's say we have chickens. If I see it and I know Carrie was going to go butcher it, I wouldn't be able to eat it because I know it was mine and I saw it living. Does that make sense to you all? So I think that would be a little bit easier for men, is because I don't think they have big hearts like women, or maybe because we're more compassionate and loving. Like the thing with you with saying with the man working and the woman staying home, I think that's a woman's choice because we're more loving towards our kids. No offense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't
nurturing.
Thank you. That
nurturing.
Way. But so I don't know.
Tara Hook said, I grew up being told no fat. Everything was no fat. That was for us too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when the low fat salad dressing came out, and we used to buy that all the time. And then they had like the no fat like cookies you could buy, and it was everything. Everything was no fat forever.
No fat or low fat. Like they didn't want you to eat the fat.
Crazy being lied to my whole life for profits. Isn't that the truth? So ridiculous. I'm also a nurse, so it's a miracle I listened to Carrie in a video. I woke up too. Oh, that's awesome, Tara. I'm glad to hear that you woke up and you found healing. It is ridiculous when you realize that all of this is just, as Dr. Barry says, perverse incentives. A lot of perverse incentives, and they're all to make people money. The thing that drives me insane is I'm a grown man. I was so sick. I was on all this medication. You guys have heard all of this already. I don't really care anymore because I'm like, I found healing. But then I look at my children and the next generation and getting kids addicted so that big cereal and big food can make money on children walking around with fatty livers, rates of depression we've never seen before, get them hooked early young, just like a drug dealer would, and then they're a lifelong sugar consumer, drug addict. It's going to end up getting limbs amputated in their 30s. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All for profits and for money. I really, really believe that history is not going to look back on us kindly. It's going to be one of those things like, well, I'm not going to make any comparisons, but there's been other times in history when we look back and like, what the hell were they thinking? That was crazy. We're going to look back and be like, what the hell were they thinking? Like profiting off of children's sickness so that they could just make a little bit, so that they could up the profit from this percent to 2 more percentage points or something at the expense of children getting sicker and sicker. What a horrible, horrible thing. That's one of the reasons I'm fired up about Healing Humanity, this documentary, getting the word out and people sharing their stories. Hey, I want to show you guys a quick video. It's 1 minute long. Hopefully you can hear it okay. Hopefully this will work. I love this video. I shared something about this on my channel. Jen's heard me talk about it, but it was like a year ago, and there's so many new people on here. And our documentary is called Healing Humanity, and people are like, that's an audacious title. I agree. It's a crazy title, but if you think about it, the title Healing Humanity has many, many multiple meanings. Healing humanity could just mean, Jen, how do you heal humanity? Jen can heal humanity herself. She does it by looking in the mirror and healing herself and being an example to her children and to her family, and then it has a ripple effect. But the title of the documentary is kind of audacious, if that's the right word. I don't know if it is. It's a big word. But I have no doubt humanity is going to be healed because of the work of the good doctors, Dr. Berry, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Baker, Dr. Philip Ovadia. And there have been times in history where we have had large-scale, massive problems. We were just talking about children. In Vietnam, I believe this started in the 70s and went through the 90s. There was a huge issue with malnutrition of children in Vietnam. These children were dying. It was a huge, millions and millions of children, the most vulnerable on our planet, were getting sick, and they were completely malnourished, and they couldn't figure out why. And it seemed like an insurmountable problem. And when I look at the health of humanity, the health of humans in general, we're all sick and we all have poor metabolic health, and it seems like an insurmountable problem to overcome, but it actually isn't. There's a way to do it. And this video talks about a way to do it. So I just want to share this with you guys really quick. It's a 1 minute video. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Vietnam faced an incredible challenge with child malnutrition that had basically been impossible to solve through traditional top-down means. They finally addressed the problem and solved it through a completely different approach called positive deviance. Start by actually going into communities and saying, let's find the examples of people in these communities that are positive deviants, meaning whatever problem you're facing, like malnutrition, there's some family whose kids are not malnourished, even though they're under the same constraints as everybody else. They discovered that these mothers were supplementing the meager amounts of food the kids had with shrimp. Well, those were freely available and widely available sources of nutrition. But what they found out was at some point, a norm had emerged in that community that said shrimp were harmful to kids. The mothers that were doing that were doing it in private. They didn't want anybody else to know they were, because they knew they were violating a cultural norm. It wasn't enough to tell people to feed their kids shrimp. They had to find these mothers and elevate their voices and allow them to communicate to other parents and break that cultural norm. But once they did, they made dramatic gains in child nutrition for decades.
So there you go. That is, I think, another way how we heal humanity. I love that whole story. Literally millions of children suffering with being malnourished, and they've all found healing. And doesn't it sound familiar? If you look in the world right now, I don't know if you heard what he said in there, but the reason the mothers weren't feeding the children shrimp is because there was a social norm that everyone was conforming to, that shrimp's bad, shrimp's dirty, shrimp's not a good thing. Sound kind of familiar? There's a social norm in the world, in America, but in the world, that meat is going to clog your arteries. It's bad for you. It's bad for the environment. You need fiber, this, that, and the other thing. And these social norms are incredibly dangerous if we follow them. And if you imagine America, what is there, like 325 million people in America? Imagine them as these dots that he showed on that video. All of those dots represent the same people. People living in America, they go to the same grocery stores, they have basically the same constraints, but all of them are sick. 92% of Americans have poor metabolic health and they are sick. But then you have a couple of red dots there. What are those red dots, Jen? That red dot is Jen. That red dot is Dr. Chafee. That red dot is Dr. Barry. Those are people living under the same constraints, but they're having success. They are not having poor metabolic health. They're not overweight. They're not obese. They don't have fatty livers. They don't have type 2 diabetes. They're thriving. Those are the positive deviants. And when you have a major wide-scale issue, just like there was in Vietnam with millions of children, you can overcome it by identifying positive deviants and then uplifting their voices and celebrating their voices and getting the word out. Look, there's someone in the community that you can relate to that is doing something drastically different, but they are succeeding and they're having amazing results. And that goes for the individuals, which is why it's so important for each and every one of you to share your story and tell your story, get it out there to the world. But it's also, in my opinion, incredibly important to elevate the voices of these good doctors that are healing people. The ripple effect of Dr. Barry, there's thousands of people that tell Dr. Barry, you saved my life. That's incredible. How many doctors do you think, how many of these doctors that prescribed me these, Jen, how many of those doctors do you think had someone go to them and said, thank you for that medical prescription you gave me. You saved my life. Right. Big fat zero. If you imagine it, I'm going to rant. I'm going to stop. We're going to get back on topic here, but I'm going to end this rant with this. Millions of doctors. Now imagine this little grid again. Each one of those white dots represents a doctor. Let's just say in America, millions of doctors in America, almost every single one of them is failing. They are prescribing medications. They aren't treating the root cause of the problem, and they are perpetuating the illness for those people that then go on more medications and more medications, and it's a circle of medication over and over and over again. But you have a couple of good doctors like Dr. Tony Hampton, who is literally, his purpose in life is to deprescribe medication and get people their life back, because he became a doctor because he wanted to help people heal, and he found a way to do it. We need to celebrate Dr. Hampton, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Philip Ovadia. I'm missing some of these good doctors. Dr. High, he's a new guy I just met and had on my channel the other day. I don't know if you guys have been watching Dr. High, HY. Awesome YouTube channel. He's going to have a couple of videos on my channel, but we need to uplift those voices and celebrate those people that are actually saving people's lives. Like, that should be front page news. I did a video about Dr. Barry, and I had 100 people say, Dr. Barry, you saved my life. That should be front page news. That should be celebrated, especially when we're living in a world of millions of people that are suffering more now than ever before. You know, the average life expectancy is going in the wrong direction, but people are living longer because we have interventional medicines and treatments, stents we can put in their heart. We can prevent them. We can keep them on defibrillators. We can keep them on oxygen machines. We can keep them going. But they're suffering now more than ever with mobility issues and just barely getting by. They're suffering at a young age till death, like never before. And never is there a better time that people need healing. And the best way to do it, I believe, is getting these stories out there. That's what we're trying to do with the documentary. That's what I'm trying to do on my YouTube channel. And that's what each and every one of you can do, because you are all positive deviants. Sounds bad when you say deviant, right? Mm-hmm. You're a positive deviant. You're doing something differently than the entire group, and you are succeeding incredibly. And that should be investigated, and that should be celebrated, so that other people that are desperate and hopeless can find that same healing. All right, I'm gonna stop talking about that now. I get fired up about that, but it's a pretty cool concept. And when people ask me, like, how do you plan to heal humanity with this documentary? Hopefully the documentary will be a huge part of it, but I believe that is the way.
You know what? It starts with one person.
Starts with one person, one story. The ripple effect that Dr. Barry has had has been incredible. The ripple effect that I've had on my little tiny homesteading YouTube channel, this isn't me patting myself on the back, but it's crazy. The comments I get from people, it's sad to me. It really is sad to me that the only way, literally at this point, I've had thousands and thousands of comments, and so many people saying, I saw your 30-day video, it inspired me, it saved my life. I'm no longer depressed. I'm off my type 2 diabetes medication. Mm-hmm. It's the most humbling thing in the world. I always say all glory to God, and I mean that 100%. But it's also incredibly sad that the only way these people were able to find healing was through an idiot homesteader that does YouTube videos. Like, this should be something you go to your doctor for, or a specialist or an expert. So that's how we heal humanity. You heal yourself and you be the best example you can be to your family. And then you uplift the voices of these good doctors and other individuals and celebrate this and share it with people there's people out there that are hopeless and depressed. It's not because they're choosing, they just don't know any better. They can't wrap their brain around. They have no idea that Jen here has found a better way, and that's through nutrition. All right, back to the topic on hand. I went way off track there. Should we read some comments now?
I was just going to read some comments or say.
Is that you, Carrie, on your shirt? No, that is Bill Nutt from Alaska and Daisy. Bill and Daisy. And these shirts are available on Bill's YouTube channel.
Go buy some. Support Bill and Daisy.
Bill is incredible. If you don't know Bill, you're missing out. Watch his YouTube channel, Bill, N-O-T-T, on YouTube. He's got an amazing, incredibly inspiring. Bill is a positive deviant, and he has already inspired thousands and thousands of people to find healing. People tell me all the time, like, if Bill Nutt can do this in Alaska at 700 pounds, stuck in his house for years, with all of those constraints, I can do it too.
He's kicking butt.
Dr. Barry saved Rockin' Keto Amy too.
It just starts with one person is all you need. So it's awesome that this is all going. And
Dr. Ken Berry saved my life too here in Germany. No more Hashimoto problems, no more working pills. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw that video I did on my channel. I want to repost that or do another version, but I literally collected testimonies from people, and there was 100. And we did a big meetup, and you were there, right? Were you there?
No.
She wasn't there. Sorry. Now I'm in trouble even more. We did a big meetup in Tennessee, and Dr. Berry came to our meetup. Adam and I filmed him for the second time for our documentary. And I said, you know, doctor, I was in front of the whole audience, and I said something I never would have done before Carnivore, by the way. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I had a lot of people reach out to me, and they wanted me to thank Dr. Berry on their behalf because he saved their life. I said, well, here's what we're going to do. You send me a video or a message or a comment or whatever of how Dr. Berry saved your life, and I will deliver it to him. And I had 100 of them. We had to like change the whole schedule of our meetup. I had a 45-minute video. We couldn't run the whole thing. We did a 10-minute version. And in that 10 minutes, it was 100 people saying, Dr. Ken Berry saved my life. Like I get goosebumps thinking about it right now that this doctor, through the internet, without ever having seen these people, treating them like taking their blood pressure or checking their temperature, was able to heal them through his words and through his example. That's 100 that just happened to reach out. And now since then, I get like this comment right here. I get it over and over and over again. Rockin' Keto Amy, so many people saying it. Thousands and thousands of people have found healing. And then you got to take the ripple effect, Jen. I found healing from carnivore. Now Jen's doing it. My daughter Emma's doing it. Alyssa's doing it. Katie's doing it. My sister's doing it. My younger sister, my older sister, my mom, my stepdad. Like, think of that ripple effect. Do you see that ripple effect, Jen? In any other diet or medication or lifestyle regimen, anything, do you see that kind of ripple effect?
Honestly, well, sadly, the Ozempic that's out.
Yeah, but that's not a long-lasting thing.
It's not a long-lasting thing, but it is a ripple effect that everybody wants to try because they think it's the easy way out.
Yeah.
But with everything, there is consequences that come with that.
Well, it's the same problem. Ozempic is the same problem, in my opinion, as all of this.
Yes.
You're not treating the root cause of the problem. The root cause of those people being sick isn't that they're overweight and they need to lose some vanity pounds. They have a fatty liver. They have poor metabolic health. They have visceral fat. Right. They're probably pre-diabetic. They're probably insulin resistant. They have all of those health issues that they need to address. And going on Ozempic to temporarily continue to malnourish yourself with the incorrect foods, but to a lesser extent, is not the solution or the way to deal with the root cause of that problem.
What happens when you get off of it? You're going to gain it all back. You're not going to learn anything. It's just like Weight Watchers for me. I'm like, oh, I can do this a little bit here, a little bit there. I'll watch my weight. Same thing with keto. Oh, I'll just have this. I'll have that. I just have to count how many carbs I'm having. Never worked.
Craig said, you ought to see the metabolic Walking Dead in Central Tennessee. It's horrible. Families of soda drinking, candy eating, carb addicted. It's very sad. That is one of the heartbreaking things for me on this too. I mentioned earlier the children, right? But it's also realizing that the majority of humanity if we don't get this word out, the majority of humanity is going to go their entire life like the metabolic Walking Dead,
Right.
as Craig put it there. Literally zombies. It is like we're in a movie theater. It's like a zombie movie. And it seems like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not, because when your body is sick, your brain is sick and your spirit is sick. You have this brain fog and you just go through the actions and you go through the motions. And before you know it, God willing, you're older and you're taking your last breath and your heart's beating its last beat, and you're going to close your eyes and you're never going to feel like you feel or I feel or all you positive deviants out there feel to your fullest potential, without that brain fog, without that sickness. It's a sickness. It isn't
without getting the high. Like, what are we eating next? What are we doing next? Where are we gonna go? Do we have money for that? You know,
I always said, like, if you could put carnivore in a pill and someone could take it and they could feel like I feel for one day, everyone would be doing carnivore. It'd be the greatest selling pill of all time. That's one of the biggest misconceptions I want to get out there with carnivore, though, is so many people just look at it like it's just this weight loss thing.
That's a plus, but that's not why I started it.
The problem isn't that 326 million Americans, 92% have poor metabolic health and 70% are overweight. The overweight isn't the problem. The problem is these people are sick. And then we're telling sick people the only way to get better is to go run on a treadmill or eat more vegetables and eat more salad. It's the wrong information. These people aren't fat. They may be overweight, but that isn't the root cause of the problem. The root cause of the problem is they are sick. They are sick. Fatty livers, insulin resistance, inflammation, chronic systemic inflammation. You heal the sickness, the weight loss will go away. I don't know if I'm describing that well, but it's something that's been driving me nuts. All right, we got a lot of comments, Jen.
I think the movie's over. I'm just testing Emma.
It's already, it can't be.
Yeah, it's only an hour and a half.
Isabel Goyer, the TV doctor, Dr. Siegel, said that feeding meat to kids creates addiction. Oh, we could do a whole live stream on the absolute stupidity. Like what Bill Knott, my buddy, I don't know if Bill's still on here, he has said before, Carrie, we are living in an inverted reality, and that is the truth. That doctor could not have spoken further along on the opposite end of the spectrum of truth than when he said that. It's carnivore is inflammatory. Carnivore is the least inflammatory thing a human could do. I got to shout out my buddy, Kent Carnivore, Lee Kopis again. Hopefully you guys are watching his YouTube channel. He's incredible. We filmed him for our documentary. But when he described what went on with his, I think it was an ileostomy bag or colostomy bag. I always confuse those two. But he would eat vegetables and fruit and fiber, and the bag would fill up with gas and sludge, and his body would be inflamed. And then he would eat meat and only meat. And there's just a little bit of liquid and no gas in the bag whatsoever. Carnivore is literally the least inflammatory diet on the entire planet. The only thing you could do less inflammatory would be to just abstain completely and do a complete dry fast. It's feeding meat to kids creates addiction. That makes me so mad because the root cause of the problem is we're getting kids addicted by giving them cereal and junk food and carbs and excess carbohydrates. And so to say that meat is causing, what kids do you know that are addicted to meat? Then babies naturally prefer meat. That's instinct. They spit out vegetables. That's instinct because they're bitter and they're bad and there's defense chemicals and toxins in them that they shouldn't be eating in the first place. Dr. Barry needs to be the resident doctor on TV. Like I'm dumbfounded by that video, Dr. Siegel. Shame on you. How many people are going to watch that and be influenced by millions of people are going to see that and think, oh, we can't feed our kid meat. They're going to get addicted to it. Are you kidding me? Literally sugar, like it's dopamine in the brain. It's literally addiction like cocaine. There's like nothing. You don't eat meat and it's the same thing. We're eating meat because it gives us energy and it's craziness. It's so backwards. We should do a whole video on that. All right, we got a lot of hashtag women's now. Should we take a look here? You know, the internet cut out, so we lost some, but we're at 18-2. I think we lost some of the votes because our internet dropped off and the little counting tool stopped counting, but women win. The Battle of the Sexes Carnivore Live Edition. This was fun. We're still going to take some of your questions if you have them. Women win, and I fully concede you had it harder than I did. You have the hormonal issue. You have the cycles. You have the pregnancy. You have way more healing to do internally. And I love meat. I love eating fatty meat. Like, I'm not going to say carnivore was just a walk in the park and easy, but compared to what you had to go through going from vegetarian to doing this, and compared to what most women have to go through, because a lot of women eat lean and they cut the fat off, having to go from that to eating fat, it's a lot harder for women, for sure.
I appreciate that. I'm sure all the women do too, but I think it's just a blessing that we're all doing this together. I think it's a blessing that we have so many people in our lives, all of you guys that really give us hope and help and are very great towards me. I did a few shorts when we were in Alaska, and I was just blown away by the comments. I couldn't even keep up with y'all because there were so many comments on there. So thank you.
Doug said, love you guys. Thank you for helping to save my life. Oh my goodness. Doug, I am so thankful that you found healing, and thank you for your kind words.
And
unbelievable.
You did it because you took it into your own hands, because you heard the right things. That's all we can do is just...
All glory to God. And Doug, look in the mirror and be proud of yourself. That's one thing I found with carnivores, my buddy Bill not included. Us carnivores are so hard on ourselves. You found healing, Doug, because I'm glad that we had a little part of it in some way. Mm-hmm. But you, Doug, decided to go down that scary, dark path that most people will never go down. Most people will avoid that path at all costs, and they'll never change their life. So you did something pretty incredible yourself there. So look at yourself, give yourself some grace, look yourself in the mirror and be proud of yourself. Susan Hampton said, that was so old school. That was so untrue of Dr. Siegel. Lies a doctor told me. 100%. Susan Hampton. Brandy said, I would rather be addicted to meat than all other foods that would make me sick. Precisely. Dr. Siegel will never live that down. Even the Fox News lady Harris knew he was wrong. Siegel is a paid shill. Yeah, I don't know what other conclusion to come to than that. It's just so idiotic. De Niro said, SBG, shout out Bella. Steak and Butter Gang was my first intro to carnivore. I went through a rabbit hole and came across Dr. Baker, Barry, Chafee, Saladino, and now you. I'm truly grateful for each and every one of you. My anxiety is gone. I'm so glad to hear that. And huge shout out. Bella is incredible. We filmed Bella for the documentary as well. Keto Nana, keto 8 years, carnivore 6 months today. Congratulations. Hey, huge shout out to keto. I don't know that you or I would have ever been able to start carnivore if not for keto. Mm-hmm. I was talking to Dr. High about that the other day, and going from the standard American diet to eating only meat and not having that introduction through keto first, I don't think I ever would have done it. Right. Thomas is here. Hello, Thomas. Thomas says hi to Amy and Rick. Addicted to meat. Yeah, I can only hope so. Oh, it'd be a shame if we were addicted to the most nutriently dense food on the entire planet that gives us everything we need to thrive in the proper proportions. That would be bad. One of the biggest wins on carnivore is no more food noise. I missed the comment, but Charger Mopar Rick said, if meat is so addictive, then why do people fall off and go back to duck food? Which is a very good point. You don't see people falling off of the standard American diet just to eat only meat. I still subscribe to medical channels that generally give bad advice just so I can redirect people in the comments towards carnivore. There you go. Mark said, Jen, we love the same music. You should do a music reaction channel. You would kill it. I will also be carnivore for 3 years on November 28th.
That's awesome.
Susan was saved by Dr. Barry first with keto in 2018. Then he went carnivore. I was still keto 5 years. Then I saw Carrie's 30-day carnivore video and started watching and transitioning to carnivore 2 years, 2 months ago. Amazing, Susan. Congratulations. Susan's awesome. We love you, Susan. Susan's always so nice in the comments. Susan, look in the mirror. Be proud of yourself. Papa Carnivore, look in the mirror. Be proud of yourself. Mm-hmm. Papa Eater, look in the mirror, be proud of yourself. Thomas, look in the mirror, be proud of yourself. Everyone here, that I'm not going to click on every single one. Look in the mirror, be proud of yourself. It is really a big accomplishment. I always wondered that, like, why do I love other carnivores so much? Because you got to be brave and you got to be bold to do carnivore, and most people won't do it. Mm-hmm. They'll see that scary path. You got to go through that scary path in the woods of eating only meat and doing carnivore and going against everything you ever thought. Most people will nope out and they won't do it.
Mhm.
Dementia is a worry. Does carnivore diet help dementia also? Rebecca, yes, 100%. I urge you to do some more research. There's a couple of videos out there on the topic. Just Google carnivore and dementia. I think Dr. Chafee's done a couple on the topic as well. But, when I get the question, Jen, does carnivore help with X? I try not to overhype carnivore, but this is my truth. This is my belief. I believe with 100%. Carnivore helps heal everything. And the reason for that is when you do carnivore, you remove all the inflammation from your body. You strengthen your hormones, you strengthen your immune system, your sleep improves, your immune system gets stronger. So if you're trying to heal from anything at all, a broken bone or dementia or lupus or something, wouldn't you stand a better chance to heal if your body was in the best place it could possibly be with the least inflammation, fully well rested because you're getting good sleep, and your immune system just firing on all cylinders at the strongest, because that's what happens when you go on carnivore. So to answer your question, generally, I think carnivore helps heal everything.
Mhm.
What are you doing, Jen?
I'm leaving.
Was I because of the debate?
Yeah, I'm done.
She's done.
Emma was screaming at me, "Come up, come up, come up, come up." She doesn't like being alone upstairs, and now the movie ended, so I think she's a little nervous. So I'm gonna head out and say goodbye, everybody. Thank you for listening to us.
I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer and answer. There's a couple questions we missed.
Check out Bill, because he had us on his channel. Obviously, he had us over. We were there. I love my shirt I have. I got up a minute ago to look for that hat because darn, I'm gonna find it. I have the Mama Bear hat, and I absolutely loved it. And you guys are going to see me wearing it this winter because that thing was super, super warm. And he was such a sweetheart and got all of us a hat. So I love you all. Thank you for everything. Thanks for watching. And I will see you next time.
Karen, I'm so sorry to hear this. Doctors are drug dealers. They told my sister not to eat meat when she had fatty liver. The pills killed her at 67. Oh, my goodness. Karen, I'm so sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear that. I could go on a whole rant about that as well, but doctors take a Hippocratic oath, and that Hippocratic oath is to do no harm. When you are not treating the root cause of the problem, you are only perpetuating it through medication. And when I took this medication, I got more symptoms than I took this medication. I was on medication that caused me to gain weight, that caused visceral fat around my organs. Explain to me how not treating the root cause of the problem is not doing harm to people. Doctors are harming people by not treating the root cause of the problem. I believe that's a violation of the Hippocratic Oath. David said, unfortunately, big food, big egg, big pharma, FDA, and the media will not put this anywhere to front page news. Well, the beautiful thing is we have ways to circumvent those things now with the internet and social media and other channels. Lots of love for Bill. Daisy's amazing too. Daisy, let's just all be honest right now. Daisy right here is the real star of the show. Daisy's incredible. We were just hanging out with Bill a couple days ago in Alaska, and the girls were all inside Bill's house. Bill and I were sitting outside. We just cooked up some meat on the grill, and it was fantastic. And I went in the house to say hi to Daisy, and I walked in the door, and Daisy was about 8 feet away. Emma was holding Daisy, and you could hear Daisy purring from across the room. Daisy has a V8 engine for purring. It's pretty awesome. Lori said, thank God for the carnivore doctors. Well, I said earlier how you guys are all awesome because you're brave. You're brave enough to do carnivore when most people wouldn't. Imagine the bravery it takes to be a doctor and to go against your colleagues and possibly risk your reputation and your career, like people like Dr. Baker have done, and Dr. Barry, and Dr. Tony Hampton. Dr. Tony Hampton is literally, I love that guy. His goal in life, his purpose is just to get people off their medications. He even said when we interviewed him for the documentary, he said, I was a drug dealer, but now I'm a healer. I found a better way. And he said, and thank God I found that way. And that way is keto and carnivore and fixing their metabolic health and treating the root cause of the problem. All right, let's see here. Papa Carnivore, congratulations. 73 days shy of 1,000 days carnivore. On day 1,000, Papa Carnivore, if I know him well, will be celebrating with a T-bone steak. Maybe a porterhouse? Papa Carnivore, maybe a porterhouse? Granny DD, I tried your slow cooker roast recipe. Well, thank you for calling it a recipe in the first place, because I don't really know if it's a recipe, but it was amazing. Cooked in its own juices, so lovely. I even eat the fat now instead of cutting it off. Good for you. I joke and say it's not really a recipe because it's really just chucking a piece of meat in a slow cooker, sprinkle a little salt on it, and full credit we're due. Bill Knott was the one that convinced me. I used to do chuck roast in the slow cooker, and I'd add water. I'd almost cover the meat in water. And Bill's like, Carrie, try it without any water in it. And I'm like, that's crazy. It's crazy. You wake up the next morning, and all that liquid comes out of the meat. Oh, it's fantastic. You can level it up, too, if you turn that into some gravy. I've done that also. Charger Mopar Rick, more like Hippocratical oath. That's the truth. Bernice, I am having a hard time having energy. I am just starting carnivore. Any suggestions? Bernice, make sure you've done your research and make sure that you're getting plenty of electrolytes. Your body can fluctuate a lot of water when you first start carnivore, and that could cause low energy. The other thing is make sure you're getting enough fat. Some people start carnivore and they eat too lean. It's really about getting more fat, and some of it might just be your body adapting. Some people go through some struggles as they're adapting from burning sugar and carbs for fuel to burning fat for fuel. There can be some time where you're suffering, but I encourage you to realize that is very temporary. And when you get over that hump, you're going to feel incredible. Those cravings go away, the energy starts improving, and then you're on your healing journey, and things start healing. Inflammation goes down. Back pain that you had for years and decades starts to go away. You start feeling better. Tell Emma to join you here. I will tell her that if she comes down here. She's supposed to be down here soon. Put me in, coach. Straight to carnivore because of Carrie and what they are doing to inform as many as they can. Oh, that's incredible. I'm so glad you found it. Put me in, coach. I love your name too. Carnivore saved my life. I am so thankful and grateful and blessed for everyone here. And it was so awesome hanging out with Bill last week. That was nothing to do with the documentary, by the way. That was just a personal family vacation that we went there for. And it was nice to unwind for a little bit and hang out with Bill and see the beauty of Hatcher's Pass, Alaska, see some wildlife. But it is nice to be back home. Nice to be back home. We missed our dogs. Just going to see if there's any more questions. Here's one from Sarah Moon. What's your go-to snack for when you're out of the house? Honestly, Sarah Moon, I rarely snack on carnivore anymore. When I first started, that was more of an issue. And my go-to snack when I first started was bacon. I would try to cook up a bunch of bacon. We have these little glass containers we have in the refrigerator. And I'd always make way more bacon than I would need, even though I can eat a lot of bacon. It caused a little bit of a problem for me. But having bacon in the fridge, cold bacon, that was one of my go-to snacks. I know for other people, many do pork rinds. The thing is, when you get going on carnivore, you really shouldn't need to snack once you're well into it. And I don't know where you're at now, but if you're eating enough fat, you will be satiated and you probably won't need to snack. So if you feel the need to snack or like you're having cravings, just ask yourself, maybe I need to eat a little bit more during those meals, or maybe my proportion of fat. Because remember, on carnivore, it's not just protein. You have two dials, protein and fat. Maybe you got to lower the protein a little bit and up the fat a little bit. And oftentimes that'll get rid of the cravings or the need to snack in between. Kitchen Witch said, my mom showed her love with food by feeding people, so saying no to her cooking was very hard. That's a good one too. A lot of mothers that way, right? Papa Carnivore says the same. I know what you're talking about. I have a Jewish mother, and food is and was love. Same thing for me. My mom is an incredible cook. Thank goodness she's carnivore now. I don't know if I had my mom cook me I'm a grown man now, so mom doesn't cook me meals like she did when I was a kid anymore, but don't know if I had mom cook me a meal as a carnivore yet. I'm trying to think. She made butter bites when we first started carnivore. That was pretty awesome, but I am so thankful and grateful for my mom and stepdad are both carnivore. They travel around the country in an RV and they are preaching carnivore to everyone and absolutely living their best lives and thriving. It is a beautiful thing to see. Thank you for supporting women. I feel loved. Oh, absolutely. I kind of knew going into this. I thought it would be a fun topic, interesting conversation. I think there's pros and cons on both sides of it, but if I'm being honest, I knew going into it, women definitely have it harder on carnivore, due to the hormones and due to the fact that a lot of them just have had leaner cuts of meat, not loving the fat cuts of steak like men do. Rockin' Keto Amy said, I love Nisha's response about her kids not experiencing standard American diet foods. Dr. Siegel also was the doctor who was pushing the jab. That guy needs to be fired. That was just criminally misleading. And it's one thing if somebody says something that's incorrect. It's another thing if you have the influence of a channel like that that reaches millions of people or millions of parents with babies that are wondering, should I feed them meat or should I feed them this formula that's got 14 seed oils in it and is a chemical concoction science experiment? Emma! I think Emma's down here. Or it could be a movie theater guest that I just yelled at around the corner. We'll get Emma in here if she will. Emma! Jen! Tell Emma to come in here, please. Karen said, I'm 1.5 years in and finally got rid of the sugar. I am going to make it. You got this, Karen. Get that sugar out of the house. It is literally in my brain. You guys can say I'm a drama queen or I'm exaggerating. If I had sugar in my house, a big pile of white sugar, I would look at it in the same way as a big pile of cocaine sitting right there. I was never addicted to cocaine either, by the way, but it's just as addictive and it's just as detrimental in my opinion. It's even harder because it's everywhere. It's in everything. Focus camera. Jamation, been doing carnivore for 19 days, and I'm hoping to make some changes in my health. Great to meet you all. Congratulations, Jamation, for getting started. You know, Jen did a video in Alaska, and I loved it. And what she said in the video was this. A lot of us, I'm not speaking for other people. I'm speaking for myself and for what Jen said. Before Jen was doing carnivore, there's a little bit of shame. You know, when you're yo-yoing and you're trying so hard, and then you go down the wrong path and you binge for a while. And the beautiful thing is focus camera. We got it. We locked in. The beautiful thing is you started carnivore 19 days ago. I'm not speaking to you in particular, anyone, because not everyone had shame. But if you did have shame, it goes away the second you start carnivore, the second you put yourself on a path to healing, the second you're doing something about it. It doesn't go away when you reach some arbitrary long-term goal. Like maybe your goal is overcoming type 2 diabetes or losing 50 pounds or just getting rid of the inflammation and the pain in your back. Those are all great goals, but that shame, if there's any, should go away the precise second you decide to do something about it, which I think is a pretty awesome way to think about it. Craig, I guzzled Topo Chicos. There you go. Hey, I got to shout out my friend, carnivore coach Lisa Pickert. She is the best. I've said this in the past. I'm going to repeat it right now. I don't often feel comfortable vouching for people. I vouch for carnivore coach Lisa Pickert. She is so passionate. She is so good at what she does. Her mission, her purpose in life, she found her purpose, and not all of us find our purpose, is to help people find healing. And she is doing it like no other. And she really knows her stuff. There's this thing with carnivore, like, oh, you just eat meat. No, it is so much more nuanced than that, as we were talking about earlier with Jen, delivering triplets, pregnancy, underlying issues, liver problems. There's nuance. And for those reasons, and for the fact that us carnivores are living in a world where we're the weird ones out, we're the odd ones out, having a coach or a trusted partner or advisor is critical, so important. Like I said earlier, I very reluctantly would vouch for anyone, and I have no problem whatsoever vouching for Carnivore Coach Lisa Pickard. She's absolutely incredible. If she was homeless, living in a homeless shelter, I believe she would spend every hour of the day trying to find people to help them find healing, and do it for free, out of the kindness of her heart, because that's her mission, that's her purpose in life, helping people find healing. She's awesome. Lifebacksystem.com, Carnivore Coach Lisa. She's also got some courses on our membership site, healinghumanity.life. Hey, I got to do one more shout out, and I'm going to see if there's any more questions here, just because there's a lot of new people on here that weren't on here before. 1 week from today, I will be on August 23rd. I will be in Columbus, Ohio. We're doing a big Healing Humanity meetup. It's at a comedy club. We're going to be sharing stories of healing, and we got to update this graphic because we have breaking news that Dr. Kiltz will be joining us, as well as my wife, Jen. She's going to get up in front of the audience and share her story. Adam's going to share his story. Ashley, Ed Coleman, and Russ Mitchell, Homesick Buckeye. I'm going to embarrass Russ for a second. Russ is a funny dude. Russ has a great YouTube channel. Russ is one of the sweetest, nicest, amazing people. I don't want to get emotional about it, but we have a shared friend in Jeff DeProsperous, and Russ was a huge part of putting a huge smile on Jeff's face. And I'll never forget that. It's just I'm tearing up thinking about it right now. It's such a beautiful thing. Imagine being diagnosed with terminal stage 4 cancer and being told you have 3 months left to live, and being told you're inoperable, you're incurable, you're palliative, and you got 3 months left with your family. I can't imagine it. Jeff became a really good friend of mine, and my brother. He's a huge part of our documentary as well. Didn't realize I was going to start crying and get emotional at the end of this, but to be able to put a smile on someone's face that's going through something like that is a gift. It is a gift. And Russ was able to do that on several occasions for Jeff and Peter and Dante, Jeff's 2 boys. So nothing but love for Russ Mitchell, and I'm looking forward to giving him a big hug and giving him a hard time out there at our Columbus, Ohio meetup 1 week from today. Homesick Buckeye is his YouTube channel. If you aren't following Russ, he's amazing. He's awesome. So now I'm gonna gather my. Oh, thank you so much. I was gonna end it. I was gonna end it, and we got to give away the thing. Pop Eater, who's going with me to Low Carb for Better Health? I will be there as well. Many of us on the Healing Humanity team will be at Low Carb for Better Health in Tennessee. So I'm looking forward to seeing Bob there. I saw Bob in Tennessee at our last meetup. Russ is great. He's going to be on Thomas's channel, Target Prime Rib, on Thomas's birthday, September 20th. All right, we got to do that giveaway, and it's going to the women. So I'm going to randomly pick someone that did hashtag women. Thank you, Pop Eater, for reminding me. I would have felt horrible had I ended it. I think I did that once before. So let's see how many we have here. I think there were more than, real quick, I'm going to answer one more question. Hashtag women, if you want to get entered to win the Healing Humanity shirt, I'm going to give away in 2 minutes. I want to do this and give you guys an opportunity because my internet cut off, and half the people that voted, it disappeared. I had to restart it. So, oh yeah, we just jumped up to 25. So post hashtag women, and we're going to give away Healing Humanity shirt. And let me see if there are any other questions I missed in here. Put me in, Coach says no gallbladder. So far, so good. No problem. Thanks, Coach Lisa, for doing what you do. I have no gallbladder either, and many carnivores don't. And put me in, Coach. We want to keep this positive, right? But us carnivores should be frankly mad about not having a gallbladder. Every one of us that are missing a gallbladder would still have our gallbladders if we were eating a proper human diet. We never would have lost it. It was 100% from our nutrition. Carnivore Coach Lisa said, Gary, you and Jen and family are amazing, and I greatly appreciate it. 100%. We love you, Coach Lisa. We appreciate you. And by the way, Coach Lisa is also, we need to make a shirt. I want to be like Coach Lisa when I grow up. She's not old, but she's older than me, and she is absolutely ripped and jacked and thriving. And she came to our meetup in Montello, and she inspired me and Emma. And Carnivore Coach Lisa, I want you to know that my Ruckfest has arrived. Emma has her Ruckfest now, and we are going to be doing it regularly. now that I'm back from Alaska. And that was due to your inspiration, Carnivore Coach Lisa. All right, we got a couple more. Hashtag women's coming in. Good, 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 good. Oh, lots of them. We're going to have lots of entries now. Cool. All right, we're going to do the drawing for the Healing Humanity shirt. And for anyone that's new here, because I have a lot of new carnivores, if you are interested in our membership site or learning more, I got to shout that out quickly before I do the drawing. You can do that, and you can get 1 month for free right now by using the promo code on the bottom of the screen, Life825. Our membership site, the proceeds go to our documentary and to our series. And the goal of it is to help people that are new. I get a lot of people new on carnivore, and they need coaching, they need hand-holding, they need more support, they need community. We do 12 Zoom calls a week. It's mostly a bunch of volunteers working on the site, myself included. I don't make a penny off of it. It's 100% to help people and to have this in place for when the documentary goes live. So we've got doctors and experts on. We had Dr. Baker on. We had Dr. Georgia Eid on. We got Dr. Thomas Seyfried coming on, which blows my mind. And so basically for 50 cents a day for your first month, you can get 50% off if you use code LIFE825. A lot of people need like a month, and then they're good to go. Consider it. We've got courses in there as well, and Coach Lisa's in there all the time supporting us. She does our Q&As on Tuesdays. Now I will shut my mouth, and we're going to do the giveaway. Hashtag women won. And let's see, how many do we have now? 53. We went from 20 to 53. There we go. We're going to do the drawing. The winner of a Healing Humanity shirt come on. I'm trying to add this to the stage so you guys can see. I don't know if it's because my internet's going slow, but it's not showing it. Come on now. What is going on here? Okay, I'm going to try one more time. We're going to get this. Hang with me here. Hopefully my internet didn't cut out again. Oh, no. The winner is Carnivore Coach Lisa Pickard. This is not rigged. Hopefully the internet didn't drop off here. Carnivore Coach Lisa, you've won. I think you might already have a shirt, but we'll get you another shirt. Carnivore Coach Lisa, if you guys can still hear me, because I'm worried now that the internet dropped off. HealingHumanity.movie/giveaway to claim your prize. Carnivore Coach Lisa Pickard actually won. I'm going to do one more giveaway because Carnivore Coach Lisa probably already has a Healing Humanity shirt. Well, let me do another giveaway. Let's see here. For some reason, it's not letting me share my screen. So I'm going to do a random giveaway here. The winner, the second winner, besides Carnivore Coach Lisa Pickard is, I'm going to click it on the screen here, Sue Middleton. Congratulations, Sue Middleton. You've won a Healing Humanity shirt. And Sue Middleton, you can claim your shirt at healinghumanity.movie/giveaway. healinghumanity.movie/giveaway. And thank you guys so much for all of your support. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for your great questions. We appreciate you all. We're not going to be doing this next Saturday because we're going to be at our Ohio meetup. But I will be doing my normal Thursday, 3 p.m. Central members only live stream for those of you that have joined or are new members tonight. Thank you, Pop Eater, for gifting those memberships. And Jen will be joining me on that one as well. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Have a great night. Bye. Beep.